Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Battle. This is my lovely wife Shannon Battle.
Hi.
And we are certified Christian life coaches. And we're here today to introduce to you guys our divorce prevention tip series.
Yes.
And just the reason why we came up with this is because we wanted to give you an opportunity to really see different ways that you can avoid putting yourself in a position to potentially get divorced. So we came up with some things that really cause divorce on a lower level. These small little things are things that lead to divorce, and we want to give them to you so you can understand them, prepare for them, and avoid them.
Absolutely, and we're so excited to be here today. And our first tip for you guys is to avoid being so easily offended. So there are 4 ways to avoid that in your relationship, in communication. And the first one is to have a positive expectation and to assume the best. And what we mean by that is when you're communicating with your spouse or potentially entering a conflict, don't assume that they are automatically coming from a negative place. Avoid being so defensive before you even get started. Stay in a positive mindset. Go into every conflict or potential conflict or conversation or communication about something in your relationship with a positive attitude, assuming that they are coming from a good place as well as you yourself are.
Right, exactly. That's an excellent point.
Thank you.
Another point that I would like to make is don't read into what your spouse or your partner is saying. Take it at face value. More often than not, when we're in a rut, if you will, and our spouse may ask us something and you may take it wrong. They'll say, "Did you wash the dishes?" And you're like, you're looking at it as an issue or a conflict because you're thinking to yourself, "Well, I didn't wash dishes on Wednesday. I wonder if she's saying that because I didn't wash them, she's being sarcastic." No, if the dishes aren't washed and it's your turn to wash them, wash the dishes.
That's it.
Just don't read into it. Keep it simple. That's basically the whole point. Keep it short, simple, and sweet. I like to say that.
I like that too. Keep it short, simple, and sweet, which I oftentimes can avoid doing, but hey, we're all working on ourselves. Another thing to do is to avoid being too sensitive. I love this point because it has been applicable to me in our relationship. There have been times where I've assumed, Dan was saying something to me negative, that he was coming from a place, again, of negativity. I've assumed that he was intending to insult me when he was just simply asking me a question or simply communicating something to me.
I would never insult you. What are you talking about?
Oh, schmickens. Sorry. He's my schmickens. But anywho, avoid being so sensitive. Don't take everything to mean something so deep. And I know I don't want to say as a woman, but myself, I have been very sensitive in the past, and I've been able to develop that a lot through the years in our relationship to recognize that, hey, I'm taking that too deep or I'm taking it too serious when he was just simply communicating his opinion or his point.
Right.
He meant no harm by it.
Right. That's a good point.
Thank you.
And the last point we want to make is just let it go. It's a lot of times, when couples get into quarrels, if you will, or conflicts, a lot of times they tend to hold on to that thing that caused the problem.
Yeah.
They kind of take it personal and don't want to let it go. They hold on to it for one day, hours, days, weeks, sometimes months, sometimes even years. Holding on to that is really hurting the person that's holding it more than it's hurting the person who might have created the conflict.
Yeah.
So really letting go basically means if you have an issue, you run into a problem, letting it go resolves the issue. As long as you hold on to it, it's not resolved. So just keep that in mind. Always try to release that stress and that pain away from yourself. Just realize that your spouse or your partner, your significant other, is doing things in your best interest. So if something comes up and there's a conflict, just let it go.
And I think with that one, I just want to add on a little bit because it's, we want to come from a very simple place because a lot of things that lead to divorce and strife in a relationship are simple. Letting it go is deep though, because if you guys have discussed it and agreed to resolve it, I've known couples that we've talked to in the past,
Right.
Brought up something from a year ago and the other person wasn't even aware there was still an issue.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if you've talked about it, you've communicated, and that person, your spouse, assumes it's resolved, then you need to resolve it in your heart. And if it's not resolved in your heart,
Yeah.
if it's not completely gone, then you need to discuss it with your spouse or your significant other until it is. It's so unfair within the relationship.
Right, I agree.
To have that.
Sometimes you need to continue to talk it out.
Yeah,
You know, don't let your spouse or your significant other end it before you're ready for it to end,
yeah,
because that's when it gets resolved.
yeah.
If one person is resolved and the other one's not, it's going to keep going.
It's completely, you're not equally yoked, so to
Yeah.
speak. So definitely let it go in your heart, and if it's not, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, and figure out what you need to do to let it go.
Right. So in closing, we just want you guys to remember today's tip. Don't be so easily offended.
That's right, and remember that there are 4 ways to avoid being so easily offended. The first one is having a positive expectation, assume the best, don't read into it, don't be so sensitive, and please, please, let it go.
So we hope that this helps you. We hope that you're blessed by this. We pray that you don't get divorced. We pray that you don't even go in that direction.
Yes.
You know, our hearts are for marriages, and we hope that yours succeeds and is as successful as we want ours to be.
Yes.
We love you. We continue to pray for you, and we love you.
We love you guys, and again, keep a positive mindset in everything you do in your relationship, and we trust that this is going to help you.
And
God bless you.
God bless you. Have a blessed day.